Hey guys, this is Amit and you're watching Tech Dad. In this video, we are going to compare between Redmi 10 Prime versus Poco M3, and we will discuss which one is better in camera, performance, display, body of the devices, features, communication chips, and about the prices. In the end of the video, I will tell you which one is better according to me. So watch this video till the end. So without wasting any time, let's start the video. Let the comparison start with the camera of the devices. Talking about the rear camera of the devices, 10 Prime comes with quad camera setup, 50 megapixel of wide camera, 8 megapixel of ultra wide camera, 2 megapixel of macro camera and 2 megapixel of depth sensor. Whereas M3 also comes with triple camera setup, 48 megapixel of wide camera, 2 megapixel of macro camera and 2 megapixel of depth sensor. So the winner here is 10 Prime because it have quad camera setup, which have 8 megapixel of ultra wide camera. And about the front camera of the devices, 10 Prime comes with 8 megapixel of wide camera, whereas M3 comes with 8 megapixel of wide camera. So it's a tie because both of the devices have same camera module. Let's talk about the camera features of the devices. 10 Prime have LED flash, HDR and panorama, whereas M3 have LED flash, HDR and panorama. So it's a tie. And about the video recording options in the devices, 10 Prime can shoot Full HD video max at 30 fps and M3 can shoot Full HD video max at 30 fps. So without a doubt, it's a tie because both of the devices have same recording specs. Moving to the performance of the devices, let's start with the operating system of the devices. 10 Prime have Android 11 support, whereas M3 also have Android 11 support, so it's a tie. And about the user interface of the devices, 10 Prime have MIUI, whereas M3 have MIUI 2. So it's a tie because both of the user interface have same UI. Let's talk about the processor of the devices. 10 Prime is powered by MediaTek Helio G88 based on 12nm processor, whereas M3 is powered by Snapdragon 662 based on 11nm processor. So it's a tie because both of the devices have same processing speed. And about the GPU of the devices, 10 Prime is packed with Mali G52, whereas M3 is packed with Adreno 610. So again, it's a tie because both of the devices can give you same FPS in games. Let's talk about the clock speed of the devices. 10 Prime can clock at 2.0 GHz based on octa-core Cortex chipset, whereas M3 can clock at 2.0 GHz based on octa-core Creo chipset. So it's a tie because both of the devices have same clock speed. And about the RAM variants in the devices, 10 Prime have two options, 4 and 6 GB, whereas M3 have 4 and 6 GB too. So it's a tie because both of the devices have same RAM options. Let's talk about the internal storage of the devices. 10 Prime comes with 64 and 128 GB of storage, whereas M3 have 64 and 128 GB of storage. But the winner here is M3 because it have faster read and write speed. And about the external storage of the devices, 10 Prime have dedicated card slot, whereas M3 also have dedicated card slot, so it's a tie. Moving to the display features of the devices, let's start with the display size of the devices. 10 Prime have 6.5 inches of display, whereas M3 have 6.53 inches of display. So it's a tie because both of the devices have approximately same screen size. And about the screen to body ratio of the devices, 10 Prime have approximately 83.4%, whereas M3 have 83.4%. So it's a tie because both of the devices have same ratio. Let's talk about the screen resolution of the devices. 10 Prime comes with Full HD Plus display. On the other side, M3 also have Full HD Plus display, so it's a tie. And about the display type of the devices, 10 Prime have LCD display having 90Hz of refresh rate, whereas M3 have IPS LCD. So the winner here is 10 Prime because it have 90Hz of refresh rate, which can give you smooth transitions. Moving to the body features of the devices, let's start with the thickness of the devices. 10 Prime have 8.9 mm of thickness, whereas M3 have 9.6 mm of thickness. So the winner here is 10 Prime because it have slimmer body. Talking about the weight of the devices, 10 Prime comes with 181 grams of weight, whereas M3 have 198 grams of weight. So the winner here is 10 Prime because it have lighter body weight. And about the protective glass of the devices, 10 Prime have Gorilla Glass 3, whereas M3 have Gorilla Glass 3 too. So it's a tie because both of the devices have same generation of glass. So basically both of the devices can give you same amount of durability. Let's talk about the build quality of the devices. 10 Prime have plastic back with plastic frame, whereas M3 have plastic back with plastic frame. So it's a tie because both of the devices have solid build quality. And about the SIM options in the devices, both of the devices have dual nano SIM support, so it's a tie. Moving to some of the most important features of the devices, let's start with the fingerprint scanner of the devices. 10 Prime have side mounted fingerprint scanner. On the other side, M3 have side mounted fingerprint scanner, so it's a tie. And about the sensors in the devices, 10 Prime have accelerometer, proximity and compass, whereas M3 also have accelerometer, proximity and compass, so it's a tie. Let's talk about the battery capacity of the devices. 10 Prime have 5000 mAh battery capacity, whereas M3 have 6000 mAh battery capacity. So the winner here is M3 because it have bigger battery capacity. Let's talk about the charging speed of the devices. 10 Prime have 18 watts of fast charging, whereas M3 have 18 watts of fast charging too. So it's a tie because both of the devices have same charging speed. Let's talk about the loudspeaker of the devices. 10 Prime comes with stereo speakers, whereas M3 have dual speakers. So the winner here is 10 Prime because it can produce immersive sound. And about the headphone jack of the devices, 10 Prime have 3.5mm of headphone jack, whereas M3 also have. So it's a tie. Moving to the communication chips in the devices, starting with the WLAN of the devices. Both of the devices have Wi-Fi AC, dual band Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi direct and hotspot. So it's a tie. And about the Bluetooth version of the devices, 10 Prime have 5.1 generation of Bluetooth, whereas M3 also have 5.0 generation of Bluetooth. So the winner here is 10 Prime because it have newer generation of Bluetooth. Let's talk about the positioning chips in the devices. 10 Prime have AGPS, GLONASS, Galileo and BDS, whereas M3 have AGPS, GLONASS, Galileo and BDS. So it's a tie. And about the USB connectivity of the devices, 10 Prime comes with second gen of Type-C connector, whereas M3 also have second gen of Type-C connector with OTG support. So the winner here is M3. Moving to the price of the devices in the international market, 10 Prime is around $200, whereas M3 is available from $140. In the Indian market, 10 Prime have starting range from 12,000 rupees, whereas M3 is available from 10,500 rupees. So the conclusion of the video is, in the camera, the winner here is 10 Prime. In the performance, the winner here is M3. In the display, the winner here is 10 Prime. In the body segment, the winner here is 10 Prime. In the features of the device, it's a tie. In the communication chips, it's a tie. And about the prices, the winner here is M3. So the decision is totally yours, which device you like the most so far, and let me know in the comment below what do you think, which device is better for you. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you like our content, please like our video, share this video and subscribe to our channel. Comment what you thought in the comment below. If you're watching this video on Facebook, please like our page TechDad, and if you want to follow me on Instagram, here's my Instagram ID on the screen. This is Amit and I will see you guys in the next one. Till then, bye.